All right, today we're going to dive into this incredible ancient story. And honestly, it's a total masterclass in leadership and pride, and, how a really bad situation can get completely turned on its head. And it all starts when the most powerful guy in the world asks just one question. And boom, there it is. I mean, that one question, it kicks off a massive crisis. You have to remember, this is Pharaoh talking, the ruler of Egypt. So this isn't just him being dismissive, right? This is a supreme power basically saying, I don't even recognize that your authority exists. So let's really get into this first showdown, because what's happening here isn't some polite, religious discussion. Nope. This is a head-on collision of power, a clash of two completely different ways of seeing the world. So on one side, you've got this demand from Moses, who's speaking for a God you can't see. And on the other, just a hard no from a king who genuinely believes he's the ultimate authority. I mean, the battle lines are drawn right then and there. But if you try to put yourself in Pharaoh's sandals for just a second, his reaction, it almost makes sense in a weird way. I mean, this guy was seen as a living god. His whole world revolved around the idea that he was number one. So when some guys representing his slaves show up talking about their god, of course he's going to react like that. Why would he even entertain the thought of listening? And this gets us to a really important idea here, something we could call the success obstacle. Think about it. Pharaoh's power, his experience, all his past wins, everything that made him Pharaoh, well, that stuff became a wall that stopped him from seeing what was really going on. His greatest strength literally became his biggest blind spot. And that one no, fueled by all that pride, it just sets off this awful chain reaction. Let's actually follow the path here and see how one bad call from the top creates this snowball of misery for absolutely everyone. So instead of even thinking about the request, Pharaoh twists it to fit what he already believes. He doesn't see people asking for freedom. He just sees lazy workers. And his solution? Oh, it's simple. Punish them. Make their lives even harder. He tells them, okay, now you have to find your own straw for the bricks, but you still have to make the same number every day. Just brutal. And this is where you really see the downward spiral in action. It's a perfect example of how blame just rolls downhill. So Pharaoh likes this horrible new rule. That leads to the Israelite foremen getting beaten because they can't keep up. So who do the foremen blame? Not Pharaoh. No, they turn on Moses and Aaron, saying, you made this happen. And that pressure just keeps building until it gets all the way back to the top, and even Moses starts to crack. Wow. I mean, you can just feel the hopelessness in those words, can't you? The leader of this whole thing has completely lost faith. He's actually blaming God now for the entire mess. So you've got everyone pointing fingers. The plan is in shambles. It just looks completely, totally hopeless. But it's right here at rock bottom. This is the moment the whole story takes a massive turn. A promise is made, and it's not just a promise to fix things. It's a promise of a complete 180-degree flip in power. So let's just remember where we are. The hard reality is Pharaoh is not budging. The people are suffering worse than before, and the leaders are losing hope. I mean, this looks like a done deal, right? An unchangeable fact. And then comes the promised reversal. And listen to this, because it's not just that Pharaoh will eventually say yes. The promise is that the same guy who's refusing to let them go, he's going to be the one who literally drives them out of the country. He's going to be begging them to leave. This is what we're calling total inversion, and it's such a powerful idea. The point isn't just to beat your opponent. It's about a power so great that it can completely flip their role in the story. The guy who was the problem suddenly becomes the solution. The oppressor becomes the one pushing them towards freedom. It's wild. Okay, so what does any of this have to do with us, right? Why are we talking about this ancient story? Well, it's because this whole success obstacle thing, it's not just for pharaohs. It's something we all deal with. Just think about your own life for a second. Your past successes can make you shut down new ideas, right? Your years of experience in your job might make you a little too quick to dismiss a fresh take. Or maybe your authority as a boss or even as a parent makes it hard to really hear what other people are saying. It's so easy to let the very things we're proud of become the walls of our own little prison. So the big takeaway here is really a warning for all of us. We have to be careful. Your greatest strengths can so easily turn into your biggest weaknesses. That experience that got you to where you are today, It could be the very thing that stops you from getting to that next step if you're not open to new ways of thinking. And that really leaves us with one last pretty tough question to ask ourselves. I want you to think about your own life, your successes, your expertise, the authority you have. What is that one thing, that one area where you're so successful, so confident, that it might be your biggest blind spot? Where might you be your own Pharaoh?